All right, moving on, we are almost finished with Chapter 6, which is the Controlled Substances Part 2, which looks at ordering, theft, and disposal. So this next section gets into what happens if controlled substances are lost or stolen. Alright, so a pharmacy must report a significant loss or theft of a controlled substances to the local DEA office in writing within 1 business day of discovery. After initially notifying the DEA, the pharmacy must conduct an investigation and submit Form 106 to the DEA with the findings. A copy of the DEA Form 106 can be sent to the Board of Pharmacy. If the investigation determines that theft or loss did not occur, then Form 106 does not need to be submitted to the DEA or Board of Pharmacy. Instead, the registrant must notify the DEA in writing that there was no theft or loss. Pharmacists must also report all controlled substances, drug losses. Pharmacists must also report all controlled substance drug losses to the Board of Pharmacy within 14 calendar days for losses due to licensed employee theft or 30 calendar days for any other type of loss. So how do we determine if the loss is or theft is significant? So let's look at this chart here. So let's look at reason. So if the reason is employee theft of any quantity, that would be significant. If the reason is any loss deemed significant by the pharmacist in charge, then the quantity is not applicable. In terms of dosage form, if you're looking at quantity of like tablets, capsules, or oral medications, they're looking at like greater than or equal to 99 dosage units. If they're looking at like oral, buccal, sublingual, suppositories, and patches, single dose injectable meds, greater than or equal to 10 dosage units is significant. If we're looking at infusion bags, containers, vials, injectable multiple dosage types of medications, maybe in the hospital, greater than or equal to 2 would be significant. So reporting in transit losses. The loss or theft of controlled substances in transit, for example, so when it has left the distributor and is on its route to the pharmacy, this has to be reported to the DEA verbally, immediately, and in writing within 3 days. The supplier is responsible for reporting this loss to the DEA. The Board of Pharmacy must also be notified. The pharmacy is only responsible for making the report if the registrant has already signed for the delivery and subsequently notices that some or all of the substances are missing. The report must include the date of the shipment and the name of the carrier or delivery personnel. So again, we have the Form 106 example, which is page 113. The next section gets into disposal of controlled substances. So a registrant, for example, a pharmacy or the dispensing prescriber, should not send drugs to the DEA for disposal unless they have received prior approval from the local DEA field office. Otherwise, controlled substances should be disposed of using one of the methods discussed below. So registrants returning controlled substances to the supplier. Pharmacies can return controlled substances to the drug supplier or manufacturer. The pharmacist must maintain a written record of the return showing the date of the transaction, the name, strength, dosage form, and quantity of the controlled substance, the supplier and manufacturer name, address, and registration number. Form 222 or the electronic equivalent has to accompany the return of the Schedule II drug. The supplier or manufacturer receiving the controlled substance must initiate the order. The supplier or manufacturer will keep a photocopy of the Form 222 and send the original Form 222 to the pharmacy, which is acting as the supplier. The pharmacy will send a photocopy of Form 222 to the DEA. Registrants, which are sending controlled substances to a reverse distributor. What happens here? So the reverse distributor is a company that disposes of controlled substances. A pharmacy can send controlled substances to a reverse distributor for disposal, provided the reverse distributor is registered with the DEA. The reverse distributor must issue Form 222 or the electronic equivalent to the pharmacy that is transferring Schedule II drugs for disposal. The reverse distributor will keep a photocopy of Form 222 and then send the original Form 222 to the pharmacy, which is acting as the supplier. The pharmacy will send a photocopy of Form 222 to the DEA. If the pharmacy is transferring Schedule 3 through 5 drugs, then a record must be maintained with the following information. Drug name, drug dose, strength, quantity, date transferred. Then we are looking at DEA Form 41. This is used to document destruction of controlled substances. The reverse distributor will submit Form 41 to the DEA once the controlled substances are destroyed. And this concludes Chapter 6. The next section is going to go into Chapter 7, and this will start Part 3. Controlled Substances Part 3, and this is going to look at prescribing and dispensing.